So what makes a good coach?
Patience is massive, absolutely massive. And empathy, understanding where the boxer's coming from, their background. See, my coach, the reason why I loved him so much like a dad was because he understood where I was coming from, because he understood that I was coming from a major minority, as in the only one. Yeah, because he was a traveller, wasn't he? So he understood about being singled out or isolated and that lot. So he had empathy with me, do you know what I mean? And he also understood that I had no money. And he said, right, mate, and here's what I do with the kids here. He said to me, right, mate, and he said it out, he's right abrupt. He went, you've not got money again, have you, Q? Quinton? I went, no, coach. Shit, what am I going to say this time? Do you know what I mean? Because I had more excuses than you can shake a stick at. He said, I'll tell you what we'll do, just forget money. But nothing comes for free. Don't forget I'm 10, all right? You will come and help me train these beginners in the first session, and then you can train. But nothing comes for free. You have to work. And I do that here. If some kids haven't got money, I say, right, you have to go and teach that kid how to box, or this, that, and the other. Come in early and help out. And then we have the same system here. Do you know what I mean? That was flipping 1977. 1978. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, that's such a good way of doing it.
Yeah. But
So
I learned
value.
I learned values, yeah. But there's a lot of things that are different nowadays. I mean, at 9 years old, I used to do like a paper round, and no, I didn't actually. A milk round. The milk guy used to come drop the milk at our house. I used to get up and help him with the milk. Do you know what I mean? To raise money. You know what I mean? So don't get me wrong. I and then I had a paper round when I was old enough, and all the way to about 14. Do you know what I mean? Because you had to make it work. If you didn't work, you wouldn't get that money. Mm-hmm. So values were learned real quick. Yeah. And having him in my life was a major hit, mate. And his family, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And did you find when you came from being an elite boxer to a coach, there's so many people with different goals. Someone might just want to get fit. Someone might just want to have just one fight in their life. Someone might want to be a world champion.
Yeah. And that's quite important to find that out. Because, you got many things, like sometimes it's the parent. The parent wants it more than the... Here's a couple of things sometimes to think about. I'd say to coaches, be careful of this, because I've fallen foul of it, where the parent wants it more than the actual kid, or the coach wants it more than the boxer. The coach sees a really good talent and he's gone ahead thinking, or she's gone ahead thinking, right, this kid's going to do this, going to do that, and I'm going to get him in this championship. But the kid doesn't actually want that. The coach is pushing the kid into it. Oh yeah, I'll do that. But then when the kid's like now not really bothered. Do you see what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or the parent wants it. The parent might have boxed before and done really well, or the parent might not have boxed before, but likes the idea of being a boxer. Mm-hmm. But didn't actually have the guts to do it themselves. Not the guts, but didn't have the opportunity to do it themselves. So they want to get the kid to do it. Do you know what I mean?
How did you find it internationally? Obviously, England boxing, we've got our own sort of style. You see in the amateurs, everyone, there's a few different sort of styles you've got, but then you've got in the Europeans, you've got like the Russian Soviet style, like Ukraine. Yeah. They're all completely different how they drill boxing. Yeah. How did you find when you've got on the England level, going abroad,
transition into
trying to beat that style and everything? That was it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not joking. People like Kazakhstan, they are not normal. They are so fit and so strong and so tough. No matter what you hit them with, it doesn't matter. They just keep going. And that's why sometimes, we in England, we teach about changing angle and keeping it in the different ranges and what to do after you've punched. So you throw a shot. If you stay there, they'll just come back. You've got to be pivot in or moving your head. And before you attack, what do you do before? What do you do after? And it's all these things to think about that you must think about when you box these type of people. Do you know what I mean? Or long range, or short, stocky, aggressive. Do you know what I mean? So it's switching styles, and that's why you see the sparring we did today, by putting a fresh boxer in. So you've got one boxer in the ring, ain't you? Mm-hmm. So you put it first round, he does it with one boxer. Then change with another boxer, then change with another. That is so good, because not only have they got to keep their level of fitness up, because the fresh boxers coming in fresh, but they've got to change styles. Mm-hmm. They've got to change tactics and what technique they're going to use against that opponent. See what I mean?
Yeah, that's very smart. I'd never thought of it like that.
Yeah,
I thought it was more for fitness, not for the styles as well.
No, it's about you. 1 minute you box Darwin, you're sparring Darwin. Mm-hmm. Tall, long, rangy, strong. Right? Then you got Conrad, who's like, he's like a slippery fish, isn't he? Mixing, changing angles. Then you got Harry, Hatchet Harry, who just comes forward, yeah. Then you got Sol, who's a southpaw, tall and rangy and strong. So you've had to change styles 3 or 4 times now, haven't you? Which is brilliant. And the tempos, and they're coming in fresh. So you've just done 2 rounds, and Sol gets in fresh as a daisy. So you have had to lift not only your fitness level up, but also your change of tactics and techniques.
Do you do the same with the England guys? Quite similar?
Yeah, all the time.
So what did you learn on the level 4 and the international IBA level 2?
Oh mate, they've changed it again now, but it was an absolute nightmare. I mean, they say, right, here's 2 or 3 bouts, 3 threes. Right, we want to know, when the red boxer, the boxer in the red corner, when he throws a jab, how many jabs he throws in round 1. When he threw them, how many he threw from the outside of the ring or the inside of the ring. How many jabs he threw to the body, to the head, and that's just 1 punch. And they want to know about backhand, the rear hand, the hooks, the uppercuts. Do you know what I mean? So it's analysing boxers and being able to when you come back, let's say we're away somewhere, we're in Romania, which we were talking about earlier on, and you're the head coach, you say, right, Q, watch this boy, because we're going to have to box the winner. So you've got to analyse both of them pretty well. So that night we can talk about it. I might video them, which will help. But in those days, they had videos, do you know what I mean? So as much we weren't accessible as they are now with your phone, do you know what I mean? So you had to analyse it and get it right as well, because then they'll say, right, what do you think about this kid? Or what was it? Who won that bout? Q, who won that bout? And give us a description. So you'd have to have the analyse. So there's a lot of analysing. Then it was about cycles as well, like the yearly cycle, monthly cycle, daily cycle, coming up, building up to the event, and how you're going to break that down, and how you're going to prep a kid. Don't forget the at GB, they work off a 4-year cycle.
Yeah.
So ideally they want you to join that year and be in the Olympics that year. Ideally, do you know what I mean? Sometimes you might get a kid like Boatsy came with 2 years. And here's the thing as well. Boatsy joined with 2 years to go to Olympics. So there's only a certain amount of bout shows you can have, events that you can have where you can qualify. But he had about 6 boxers in front of him at his weight. That's why I find him phenomenal how he's done it. He took them all down and become number 1 within 2 years and went and got a medal. You know what I mean? So we're on the level 3s and level 4s. It gets more in depth about analysing styles and tactics and preparation for the boxer going to tournaments and that type of thing, because you're working with international athletes. The idea of a level 3 and level 4 back in that day, and I think they're bringing it a little bit more now, because they're putting on level 3s and level 4s. I think they probably say, back in the day you had to be a level 4 to get on England. Do you know what I mean? Whereas it sort of disappeared a little bit and they allowed level 2s to do it. It's not for me to say whether it's right or not, but I think you do need a certain amount of experience if you're going to start working with people, because you've got to be able to hold pads. Because if you go out there and I say, can you pad him? I don't want the boxer looking at me thinking, you've got to be able to do that.
Well, especially if you're just about to go fight and you're not landing clean and everything else, you have no confidence.
Pad person is not, and if you're not good at pads, you need to get good. If you're going to work on the international scene, you need to get in there and get more pads in.
So out of all the people you've been coaching, have you ever looked at someone and think, wow, he's going to be a superstar, she's the next best thing?
Yeah.
Have you ever come across someone and they're just leagues above everyone else?
Yeah, Ivy Jane Smith. Ivy Jane Smith, mate, I'm so happy she's back in the sport. I thought when she stopped, and she had all reasons to stop, good reasons as well, do you know what I mean? So, life wasn't quite working for her, and she had a lot of things going on. So, I supported her as best I could, because I was a coach, like my coach was with me, do you know what I mean? But I'm so happy she's back, and I tell you now, mate, she's going to tear this place apart. Honestly, she will walk through those amateurs like butter. And then, it's unfair to say that, because boxing is a very tough sport and you shouldn't knock opponents. But I just think that she's leagues above it. I thought she was leagues above it back in the day when she was winning schools, juniors, youths, and seniors. Do you know what I mean? And then she got on GB, but things went wrong and she had all the right reasons to leave. I understand why. But now she's back. And she's looking like she boxed. Put it this way, she boxed a tournament the other day. And I was watching it on YouTube, And I just thought, my God, she's hardly not changed. She's nearly back to that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, she can do everything, mate. She can box orthodox southpaw. She can fight. She can box on the back foot really, really well. She's strong with both hands, and she's tough as nails. You know what I mean? It'd take a good girl to beat her. I'll be surprised if she doesn't go to Olympics and do really, really well. And I'm surprised she doesn't turn pro and do really, really well, because that
How
girl's
old is
got
she?
it all. It's about 22, 23.
Okay, still really young then.
Yeah, she's got years, yeah.
So you've met some great people from all the coaching and things.
Yeah.
How did you meet the Queen?
Oh, well, yeah. Do you know what? It's unbelievable. I was at home on my own, right? And I heard that the envelopes come through there. I thought, and I went made a cup of tea. I thought, the envelopes come through. I'll see what it is. And I remember, like it was yesterday. There was 3 envelopes. Right, there was 2 brown ones, which were never good, and a white one. So I opened the white one up, and it was from a friend or something. I opened the other one up, and it was a bill. I thought, what's this? I opened it up, and it was like, Mr. Shillingford, you've been nominated, and this, that, and the other. For that, if you wish to accept it, please let us know. I thought, this is a wind-up. Some idiots trying to get me out of here. Do you know what I mean? It said, ring this number. But it did look official. Do you know what I mean? I thought, it looks quite real. And then I started getting like, my heart went a bit funny. I think this is real, So I phoned Mrs. up. I said, you're not going to believe what's come through the door. I told her, she went, well, I don't know. I mean, it's just come out of the blue. So she goes, ring the number up and see what happens. So I rang the number up, and it was the House of Parliament, it was the government. And they said, yeah, are you going to accept it? Oh, yeah. He goes, well, I thought, this is not a wind-up, this is real, do you know what I mean? So then I put the phone out, I filled in the form and sent it off, because he said we need it in writing. And then all the information started coming through, and I just couldn't believe it, mate. I couldn't believe it. And then as well, what was really nice was the people were saying to me, I go, it's in Windsor Castle. And I said, if it was in Buckingham Palace, you'd have the Queen giving you the award, but in Windsor Castle, it's one of the other ones. I went, okay, no worries. I wasn't bothered, it was just nice. It was a nice thing anyway, And it was for services to boxing and young people, because of the award programme, and boxing for about 40 odd years and that lot, it was awarded for that. But I remember we got to Windsor Castle, and then my family were with me, and then we got separated, because I had to go and get ready to be awarded. And I went and saw the guy, and he fitted a pin on my lapel, for her to put for the Queen to put the medal on. But from that, I still didn't know who was delivering, who was doing the presentation, who was doing the awards, because they keep it quiet for security, I suppose. And I got to the guy, and I was just talking to him, just out of chit chat, as you do, you know what I mean? I said, I goes, what happens here then? Where do we go? He goes, where are you going to go? And he starts telling me about what's going to happen, which was quite good, because I do like a military night, so I like a brief. And he said, and then all you do then is march in, and then Her Highness will put the medal on your chest. And I went, oh, okay. I went, because remember, I thought the Queen only did Buckingham Palace. And I went, is the Queen here? He went, yeah, she's next door. I went, you're joking? He goes, no, she's doing it here. But you're not supposed to know that. I went, I was so happy, mate. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't believe it, Yeah. Especially now, not being nasty, but now she's passed. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit of history, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I said, great. Do you know what I mean? And then I said, also, it was that guy, Michael Crawford, from Some Mothers Do Have 'Em, who did the Phantom and the Opera. The singer, he was getting awarded, and Penelope Keith was getting awarded. So you're in this room with all these people, and other people who've done really, really good things. Do you know what I mean? And I was talking to them and finding out what they do. It's quite nice, actually. It's quite inspiring to hear what people have done and how they got the award and stuff like that. And I was like, and then of course, luckily I was used to marching. So the guy said, when I got to my turn to go in, he said, you're a military man, you know how to march, don't you? Yeah, I'm all right, mate, yeah. So then you marched out, and then when I got there, mate, I couldn't believe it, how she said, well, I thought it was just going to be like a boom, do you know what I mean? But it wasn't, mate. She, I don't know how she did it at her age, but she mentioned all about me boxing as a kid, and winning lots of titles and boxing for my country. She mentioned about joining the Navy and being a Navy boxing coach, and being on the England team, and now you coach people at all levels. I said, yeah. She goes, oh, boxing's a great sport. And then when she said about, oh, you wrote the National Awards Programme, I just thought, man, I can't believe this. Do you know what I mean? It was all good. And I was all calm when I was in there. And as I walked out, marched out, it all got to me. Do you know what I mean? I was like, flipping, I can't believe that.
What an experience, yeah. And lastly, how did you get to meet Sugar Ray Leonard then?
Yeah, Scott Welsh is a boy, isn't he? Scott Welsh, he European champion, Scott Welsh, and boxed for a world title. But he's a good friend of mine. And he phoned me and goes, oi, your idol is coming to England. And I am in charge of the London visit. I went, I didn't know what he goes, Sugar Ray Leonard, you want to meet him, don't you? I was like, bruv, you're having a laugh, ain't you? We go down there, and there's about 500 people, and it's packed. And Sugar Ray Leonard's on the stage, and everyone's going up for about 10 seconds, shaking his hand, saying how great he is, and him telling them how good they are, big smile, and then they're gone. Now, on the way up to London, I got a train because I didn't want any stress of parking or anything like that. I sat on the train. I tell you, the train journey takes an hour and 20 minutes. For an hour, I must have sat there going through what I'm going to say in 10 seconds or 15 seconds to Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard, I was of that era of Hearns, Hagler, Duran. But if I was upset at school or something happened to me in life as a child, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I'd look at his picture, which was all over my wall, and tell him, see that he could do it, I could do it. He was like a massive inspiration. So I'm going to go now meet my childhood I'm going to meet now my childhood idol. And I'm sat training, I can't believe this, mate. And my heart's going. I'm thinking, what am I getting stressed for? It was like I was having a bout or something, do you know what I mean? I thought, Q, it's just 10 seconds, mate, just what I'm going to say. Because I wanted to say so much, but it wasn't enough time. So I'm in this room, there's about 500 people, but we're being treated like VIPs. It's unbelievable. Scott Welsh did me a major favour. Do you know what I mean? And then I'm going, Scott, me? He goes, no, not yet. He's pulled me back about a few times. And I'm getting Dutch courage now because I'm having a few rum and coke, so I'm feeling a bit better. Do you know what I mean? And then suddenly about 400 of them get moved into for dinner. And I'm like thinking, flipping, I've got to make sure I get up there. But no, you stay there, Q. Oh mate, what happened then? He goes, right, like that. So I went up there. And I've gone, and he goes, right, and he's introduced me, all right? So I'm talking to Sugar Ray Leonard now, and I've started my speech that I've rehearsed many times for about an hour for 10 seconds, do you know what I mean? But do you know what, Ashley, I was like, I've been up here a long time, mate, do you know what I mean? And I'm still going, and he's still listening. And I got everything out, and I got to leave him a bit emotional, do you know what I mean? I got everything out that I wanted to get out. And he went, no, that's brilliant. He goes, but I was really happy to hear and really proud to hear about your boxing career and how many fights you've had, mate, 142. And I'm now a little bit, I'm like, yeah. I'm thinking, how do you know that? Do you know what I mean? It's like the Queen. I'm like, how did he know that? And then he said, and what you do for the community and your club has all kinds of programs going and projects going on, and you help everyone and this, that, and the other. And I was like, how the hell does he know all this? Do you know what I mean? And then he said, and the stuff, he was Navy boxing coach, and you're on the England team. And I was like, mate, and the awards program, I just couldn't believe it, mate.
But my last question before we wrap up, have you got any advice to any amateur boxers that want to pursue a career in boxing?
Yeah, I'll tell you now, mate, you're so lucky now, because back in the day, you had to you had to be the national champion to box for England and go further. But now there's so many opportunities. There's under 10 bouts, there's under 20 bouts, there's under 5 bouts, there's under 20 bouts, and then there's open. There's so many box cups. And the thing to do is, just because you lost, I'll give you an example. Here, this will put it into a nutshell. There's a girl 2 years ago who came out as a first year's schoolgirl, and the team went out there, really strong team, her being one of them as well, yeah. And unfortunately for her, she met last year's champion, do you know what I mean? And she lost her first time out, when everyone expected her to win or get at least medal, do you know what I mean? And I used to say, are you all right, mate? She goes, yeah. I could just tell, mate, that no one else was going out. The next day, everyone won. The next day, everyone won. Do you know what I mean? So now you're thinking, yeah. And it was the first international experience as well. Do you know what I mean? And then, you know, and then we got loads of golds and loads of silvers and loads of bronzes, and they all did well. All right. Like this year, I was on the same team, and she was there, and she goes, "I'm getting a gold." I goes, "All right, mate." Mate, she went out there and absolutely terrorised everybody. Do you know what I mean? So my point is, you know, sometimes a defeat is a win. Do you know what I mean? It's good. It's not all about winning. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, I say, look, try and get bouts in. Oh, well, he's more experienced. It doesn't really matter about winning and losing. I know it's nice to have an O, but, mate, everyone, Mike Tyson, Sugar Ray Leonard, they've all lost. You know, Hagler, all the top kids, you know, Canelo, they've all lost, you know? It's not all about the win. Try and get as many bouts in as you can, and much experience as you can. The time to be upset or the time to make sure you win is the national championships if you want to go on to become an international boxer. No one cares that so-and-so beat you in Bradford. No one cares someone beat you in Liverpool or someone beat you in Scunthorpe. Who gives a monkeys about that? You won the national title. But because you had those bouts, that gave you all the conditioning, all the experience, and put you on the level where you realise you had to level up, that type of thing. That's where you gauge your performance from. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, because sometimes they worry about losing. But that girl lost the first time round. This time she got a gold medal.
Brilliant.
And remember, don't think you can. No, you can. All right? Years ago, when I was a kid, it's really, you know, some things in life really stick to you, all right? And I remember my boxing coach, right? Billy Pike, yeah, from the great guy, traveller, you know, but he put his family into a home and sent them to school and a lot from the Roman League community. And he, you know, he used to say to me, when I was a kid, I was like you are. To be fair, you're like that anyway. Do you know what I mean? But he said, look, Quinton, when it comes to winning, mate, you've got to know you're going to win. No good thinking I'd like to win or wouldn't it be nice. And so don't think, oh, it'd be nice to win. You've got to know you're going to win. You know, who's going to win? And I said, I am. He said, who's going to win? I said, I'm going to win. I know I'm going to win.
Brilliant.
Go.